In the end, there's a new beginning. So I want you to go out into the world and fully experience living clean. Because in a polarized culture that wants to see everything in black and white and divide and separate, strive to be the person that sees the many shades of gray. Expand your perceptions and widen your horizons by believing in infinite possibilities. Realize your connection to all beings. You are an eternal light being having a human experience, and when you focus on how similar you are to others and appreciate diversity rather than judge others for their differences, you're going to begin to see your place in this organized cosmic chaos called human evolution. We're at a place, a pivotal place here in history, where we must walk away from the differences and wake up to the connections that we share as people, and take 100% responsibility for 50% of all of our relationships, including the one that we have with our planet. How we react or don't, it directly affects our experience. It is up to us to determine when to take action, when to surrender, and this is the dance. Patterns of behavior are meant to be broken or followed, but the choices we make on a daily basis affect ourselves, one and the collective, as the whole, the sum of many. There's no separation. Every person that we meet is a reflection of our own subconscious. So this life, yet very much an illusion, seemingly polar opposite values, but far more nuanced as we explore our own awakening. We're here to be an expression of our consciousness, and these choices are driven by two fundamental systems: fear and love. We cannot continue to see the world through the lens of Republican and Democrat, but instead embrace an expanded understanding of how we are interconnected as people sharing the same planet. This tenet is the key to the survival of the human race. The choice between fear and love takes place moment by moment. And as we must take responsibility for our own choices and encourage others to empower themselves as well. If someone harms you, forgive them. If they deny or don't change their behavior, ask for forgiveness for yourself and move on. But set boundaries, because boundaries offer freedom. Freedom by creating the balance that gives us life's grace. How do you feel about the person who harms you? That is a direct reflection of how you're going to feel about yourself, and that is no one else's work to do but your own. Diversity is essential to our survival. One strain of anything is limiting. We are stronger as one. The technological changes we've experienced in recent decades have been wonderful for connecting us to each other. But the pendulum has swung too far in the direction of unintended consequence, socially isolating us in many ways. It is during these periods of isolation where self-responsibility and values come into play. How are we staying connected to one another? Our human nature. The very nature of human nature and nature itself. How are we staying connected to that? How are we remaking these innate natural values a priority? Values color and define the depth of our experience, yet attachments to our belief cause separation. A limited mindset holds us back from our joy and turns us into the victim. No one's a hero if they step over other people to get to the top. We all should want the best for our planet and all of its inhabitants. This is living clean. Our environment is innately and intimately connected So it's vital that we be aware of agricultural practices that, in the name of greed-based fear, interferes with the natural order and encourages pollution. This is all wrong. Our food systems, our potable water supply, our precious habitats are breaking down. We have seen the same beliefs cause health conditions that keep people feeling victimized. Your body is not attacking itself. Our environment has been affected due to a belief that we are all fundamentally devoid of regenerative resources and that we're damaged and that we need to be fixed and that nature doesn't know better than we do. All messages that add up to one thing. Do you hear the message? You aren't enough. This breakdown began when we as a collective fell asleep behind the wheel and allowed people in power to make decisions that were fueled by control and greed. This is extremely damaging to the collective, not just in the food supply, but in the messaging behind it. We must get back to the fundamental belief systems that drive us personally and collectively if we wish to make an impact in the world, and that starts with self. But it doesn't stop there. If we're self-focused and we're irresponsibly disconnected from how we make our choices, that makes up our reality, and we perpetuate more fear, more competition, more lack of connection and separation in the world. If, instead, we recognize by holding ourselves and others accountable to the truth that supports the collective rather than divide it, we perpetuate more love, connection, and harmony. The key is to practice these fundamental beliefs within ourselves first, and then to let that love spill over into the world around us. With these moment-to-moment decisions and choices that we have on a daily basis, know that your choices matter. Get to asking better questions. Make your health a priority. You're a multifaceted being. Health is more than how you look, but how you feel. So do you feel that you're overly concerned for others that have nothing left to share within your own community? Your judgment towards others and the world around you affect your ability to attract the life that you want as much as the food you eat and the thoughts that you sip on all day long. Core values, gut instinct, and free will affect your ability to evolve consciously. We are responsible for our own life experience, yet we are very much dependent upon one another to survive and thrive. High vibe thriving is about the connection to ourselves, each other, and to our environment. Our future is directly affected by how each of us contribute in a way that supports all, not just a small percentage of those who are narrow-mindedly granted deserving. Femme Fatale is here to raise the bar by calling bullshit on the cultural norm that sugar and alcohol are a way to celebrate life, just as much as greed and fear are normal states of being. Your natural state is love. We're all an expression of the divine. You want to change? Do you have the guts to take the action that only your inner guide can facilitate? You have the power. Will you use it? Let us diversify, testify, and clarify our deepest desires that help the world become a better place, one shribucha at a time. Health is wealth. Love is invincible. Take a sip. I dare you.